Okay, I'm just going to give a real quick video on this TotGuard bike when it's folded, how to get the battery out, how to charge it. When it's straight and, in its full position, you can always charge it with this thing. Be careful, the little connection that holds this rubber piece in is pretty flimsy, but I'm able to still get it to stay in. So I don't know if I can buy that part, but anyway, you want to keep that in. It keeps it weather, keeps any moisture out. But when you're charging, it comes through these terminals. You got your positive and your negative, and they come around and smack into the battery. The power that goes to your motor and all that actually comes from these wires here. So this part here is actually where the juice is coming out and into the wiring to power the motor and your controls and all that stuff. But when you close the bike, those pins engage to the battery, which sits up in here. And this pin is what keeps it from falling out. This pin also secures against this metal when it's straight and it's locked. This pin, when you're in the on, right now I'm in the on position, that completely makes it nice and tight, gives it a really good secure seal here, and it adds strength. I mean, I can't complain at all. The quality and craftsmanship of this area is actually impressive for as heavy of a bike as it is, and it really locks onto this nice and tight. And yeah, at least right now, I've only put maybe 20 miles on this thing, but it seems so secure, and I went off-road a little bit and on bike paths, etc. So anyway, just like I said in my first video, you turn it to the right, just like a car, to get it in the on position. This would be the off position. Now, you can't go further unless you push in, and then you can go further, and that brings the pin out. So you can then take the keys out, and then the battery will fall out. So all that pin really does is it keeps it secured, and when the bike is in its riding configuration, it puts this pin out against the bracket that holds the two pieces together and makes it nice and secure. So yeah, if you're not paying attention and you unscrew this and pull your key out, the battery's going to fall out. As long as the key's in, the battery won't fall out. Looks like a really well put together bike or a battery compartment. It's all aluminum, which is good for dissipating heat. Up inside the body where the battery is kept, that is also aluminum. So any heat from the battery is going to go through that and into the metal here and dissipate. They said it's like a water resistant seal. I don't see any rubber at all, but I'm guessing it's good to go. This is at an angle, so water would want to go down anyway. So it seems like there shouldn't be any issues with moisture getting in here. But anyway, I just wanted to show you that. Here's where the key goes through this hole here. This hole right here is where the pin goes through to keep the battery secure. And like I said, make it have more strength when it's together. And then this charges it while your bike is in riding configuration. If you want to bring it inside, or you have to take it apart because it's so big that you have to fold it in half to put it wherever you're going. First of all, it's really heavy, so it might be inconvenient to actually fold it in half unless you absolutely have to have that space, like if you're going to put it in a car versus, say, on the back of a bike rack on a SUV or something. So yeah, if you have to take it apart, do that. You can keep the key in. It'll always stay locked. Another thing to note, that if you do pull it out, you can charge it here. There is no cap or anything, although that rubber cap, since I broke it, it actually fits perfectly in this little space right here. It fits perfectly for that. So hopefully I can get an extra one. But anyway, if you want to leave your bike outside locked up and you want to bring it inside, you're going to have to take it apart, bring this inside, plug it in, charge it. Everything works the same. It turns green when it's charged up. There is no timer or anything. It just knows when the battery's charged, and then it turns green. It goes from red to green. So I would recommend putting the timer on your phone so that way you can see how long the battery's been charging for. I rode this thing for at least 20 miles yesterday. It looked like I still had like 3/4 of my bars left, but it took 2.5 hours to charge today to bring it back to green. So your riding experiences and terrain will vary. I did go through a little bit of sand, a little bit of hills, mostly concrete though. One last thing, and then I'll get off this video, is here's the good look that you never saw. I'll put some pictures in too of the ignition. So here you've got the lock position, and when it's a little picture of a padlock. And when it's in the lock position, that actually brings the pin in like this so you can get the battery out. So even though it says lock, it's really unlocking. It looks like a padlock that's actually in the lock position. Anyway, you put the key in that position, which is where it's at right now, and the pin comes in so you can take it out. And then to get past this, you're gonna have to push. That's why it says push down there. If you can see past my goofy thumbs. Push, and then you can bring it back to the off or the on. Now, like I said, it makes the pin go out, so pull your key out, it's in the off position. You put it in a little circle with the arrow on it, just like a car, and that's basically to turn it over and make it go again, so you can drive it. So on, just like a car, turn it to the right, and it goes on, or clockwise. Off. On is the only one you can't take the key out of, so that's good. So you might wonder while you're driving it over terrain, this key is facing downward and it could fall out and you'd lose your key. Not so. When it's in the on position and you're riding, the key cannot come out. So it's fine. You don't need to have it like secured or anything. It's not going to come out. When you want to park it, your key will come out. Also, if you're parked and the bike is in its riding configuration, and push this down, well, in this case, it'd be pushing it up and pulling it out. Like this will go out. And pulling it out, you can still pull it out then. But inside of your bike, the battery's not going anywhere, but the pin's all the way in. Either way, the bike can't be ridden like that. So if you leave it, no one can take it. Well, they can take it, but they're not going to be able to ride it. Same thing, nobody's going to be able to ride it. But yes, they could take it. And here, they got your bike and they can drive it wherever they want. So you get two keys with it. So obviously, never leave your key in it when it's on. Make sure you take it with you when you go into a place to eat or store, whatever, school, home. And then same thing, you can leave it like that if you want. But honestly, there's no reason to put it there unless you're going to take the battery out of the bike. So I would probably leave it there or there. Oops, there, there. I tried to push in and I couldn't get it to turn. So on, off, just like a car. That's really the only two positions you need, unless you're going to take the battery out, in which case you push it down and pull it out. Obviously, it's the opposite when it's up inside here. I'm going to put it back in. Man, my video is long. But you are not left with any questions because I think I'm covering everything. Oops, put them backwards. And so like this. Probably be a good idea to... Darn it, I did have it right. Embarrassing. So you might want to get a second battery because you never know when these Chinese companies are going to disappear. This bike should last for a long, long, long time. So, okay, it's up in there, but it'll fall. So I got to, hopefully I can get this in frame. I'm trying to do this with two hands. It's pain in the butt. All right, I'm going to hold it with this hand. Put my key in to the hole. Key is in it, you see that? And boom, there. So this is off, on. When it's on, it goes out a little bit more. Where's my thumb at? So it still won't come out of the compartment, but when you turn it to the on position to drive it, the pin comes out a little bit more. And it makes it, like I said, nice and tight. I think you've got the gist of what I'm trying to say. When you do fold it, crap, sorry. Turn this back around. When you do fold this bike, I will say that one thing that doesn't make sense to me is with the handlebars secured in that position, you hit the seat. So obviously it's a quick removal of the seat. So when you fold it, just save yourself some time. So you don't have to adjust your seat or anything. Just pull your seat off, then fold it. Then the handlebars won't hit anything. Because I have this little guy here to hold my phone and some tools, it is kind of a pain in the butt and it is binding. So maybe I'll take that off. Honestly, I'm never going to fold this hardly ever. So when I put this back together, it's probably the last time I'm going to have it folded because I have a bike rack, so I don't need to really fold it. And I just walk it through the back door and charge it inside. It's a good idea to charge it inside. That does get quite warm, so you may want to, put something underneath it, put a fan on it, let some air blow. You don't have to, but anything that's electric, when it's cool, it's more efficient. When it's hot, it's not. So, all right, bye.